More to the game, you are now tuned in to this week's episode. And before we get into the episode, I gotta give y'all a big thanks for subscribing. 800 of y'all are now subscribed to the channel. I'm so happy, I'm so proud, I'm just excited for all the growth that we've been having and continue to have. And I'm just happy to give y'all this good content each and every week, man. I'm happy. Today's episode is gonna be about the NBA and how it is falling off. So stay tuned. As you can see by the title, we're talking about the NBA and how I think it is going backwards and falling off. And I will preface this by saying that maybe this is just a personal opinion. Maybe everyone else doesn't see it the same way I do. But I'm not as interested in the NBA as I once was. And I grew up a huge NBA fan, you know. Kobe to the day I died, Lake Show. Tuned in to everything I possibly could. Every game I could stay up for as a kid. Tried to watch it. But nowadays, I've gotten older and the game has changed a lot. The league has changed a lot. And my interest just ain't what it used to be, man. I will say that just like I was a huge NBA fan, my team was Auburn, or it still is. My team is Auburn. And when they changed coaches and the program started going down in recent history, I didn't really rock with college football as much as, like obviously the college landscape changed to where the NIL and the transfer portal changed a lot about how college football works, but I just haven't rocked with college football the same since then. Also, college basketball, I don't really follow anymore since I graduated, but that was more so because I was burnt out on college basketball, being that I played college basketball, watching film and playing yourself. Once I graduated college, I just didn't have that same interest. I was past it. And the NBA was really the only basketball that I was watching. But now we come to the point where the NBA is no longer catching my interest. And this is an episode just talking about what I like and what I care about. But based on what I've seen change, I'm going to break down why I think that the NBA is falling off. I'm going to break it down first from a very casual fan perspective and then move into a basketball purist perspective. As an extremely casual fan, I think the NBA has missed the mark in terms of drama and advertising certain players or rivalries. It was so easy with LeBron. Like, it was basically LeBron versus whoever. Like, LeBron versus the Warriors, LeBron versus KD, LeBron versus Kobe. The NBA really hasn't found another superstar they want to build their narratives around, their storylines around. I think that Jokic is the best player in the NBA, but his personality, he don't really care about anything besides playing basketball with his horses. So there's not too much you can do there. And Giannis is a humble, good guy. And I guess you could build a storyline around him at some point if he can't get back to a championship. Like, maybe that could be a story arc, him getting back to a championship that he's seen it with Dame. Steph Curry already completed basically his whole career story arc. He got his championship before KD and after KD. It ain't nothing you really can say about him or question about him. But you could go to KD, but he's older. Like, the guys that we know and you have like some type of resume and past that we've already been interested in, these guys are getting old and out the league. I don't know if you can really, sustainably build around guys that are in their mid-30s. So it's got to be the young guys, and the young guys in today's game is just, they're great players, but there's not a whole lot of narrative behind them. So for the casual fan that's just keeping up with the NBA here and there and listening to the sports, commentators and analysts on ESPN, wherever they listen to, I don't see where you really, get your fix on narratives, because that's what drives the casual fan base. So I don't know. So from a casual fan perspective, I don't see a whole lot of interest. Someone that is a little bit more than casual, I say an intermediate fan. The actual rivalries between players and teams, like who you expect to see, like, they had the Cavs Warriors, or back in the day you had the Lakers Celtics. Like, there's no team rivalries or player rivalries, really. Like they trying to build up Wemby and Chet as a next rivalry, but that game was poop. Apparently, I didn't get to watch it, but the stat line they both put up was pretty underwhelming. So someone that, watches the big games, they have their favorite player, favorite team. There's nothing really to get behind in terms of rivalries. and drama, which is also very casual, but still, that's a part of the leagues, part of professional sports. Every sport has rivalries. So that's missing the mark as well, in my opinion. And for the basketball purists out there, the NBA style of play is just not that digestible anymore to me. And I'm not one of those old heads out there that think that things are better back in the day. I know players are better today, and they always improve on the design. But ever since switching defenses came into play, the game has gotten really, really repetitive. Everyone runs the same stuff. It's just get the ball in your best player's hands. It's going to be a guard most likely. Get a ball screen, attack the mismatch. Because they're gonna switch. Everyone's playing the switch defense. If they got a true center and he can't shoot, they play drop coverage where they go over the screen and the big plays on the ball and on the lob, like in between, not really guarding. Each one great, but just containing the penetration while maintaining defense on your man. So the games, especially like in the playoffs, like, they used to be a whole lot more interesting to watch tactically. Like seeing the different styles of play, seeing the different sets, seeing the different adjustments people have to make throughout the series was entertaining for a basketball purist. I just don't see any variety in teams nowadays. But the bigs are coming back. You got Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid, the big three in terms of bigs in NBA. Like, you can't switch on those guys. So as long as you got one of those unicorn bigs, in general, if you got a big that you can't switch onto, that means that people can't just switch 1 through 5, and that keeps more variety. And again, you got to be able to fight through screens, and that causes different reactions to how you got to help and rotate over. So that allows you to do different things offensively other than attacking mismatches. So as long as the bigs are coming back into the game, stylistically, I think the game will improve once again. But it's not there yet. It's only with certain teams, I think. But I do miss the old days, the old days of David Stern, back when there was a lot of cheating, fixing games, a lot of drama. Casually speaking, that was a very interesting time in the NBA. The 2000s up to about 2019, that was probably, I feel like, the most interesting time in the NBA between 2008, because it started with Kobe finally getting that ring without Shaq, that storyline. Then it went on to LeBron and the Big Three. Then it moved on to LeBron versus the Warriors, and that was a very interesting time. KD Warriors, those years, that 10, 11-year gap was very interesting, very drama-related. Obviously, there was a whole lot of parity in terms of who was making it to the finals each year in that time period. It was only a few teams, but that's not a bad thing all the time, especially for casual fans. You want to be able to pick a side. I said this when we were talking about WNBA. You want to have two polarizing sides. You got to choose. You with them or you with them. And it makes for good narratives and storylines and content, all that. But nowadays, you don't really have that. Like, the Nuggets just won this year. Ain't no like anti-Nuggets fans out there, like people that just hate the Nuggets, they don't want to win, hate Jokic. No super like Heat fans that came from that series. Like, there's nothing polarizing about what's going on in the NBA right now. I miss those days where it might not have been the most ethically correct way to do business, but back in the day they did some things to make sure that people got what they wanted. And Adam Silver, obviously, he's a great commissioner, but I think he's going in the wrong direction. We're trying to get more parity with teams and who makes it. Not as many super teams or superstars. People got to stay put. I don't like that. I think a lot of casual fans aren't going to be able to stay interested in that as well. But, it's a business. They're trying things out. They got the NCAA tournament, which looks to be doing pretty good. So I'm not completely out in the NBA. I'm just not as interested as I used to be. I wonder what you guys think, though. Let me know in the comments. Has the NBA been getting better or worse for you as a viewer? Are you more or less interested nowadays? Because you know where I stand. Let me know down in the comments, because we need more comments. I've been telling y'all we need more comments. Y'all don't give me more comments. I need more comments. Comments. But if you're not going to comment, Make sure you tune in next week. As always, coming back with more content, gang. MTTG, 800 subscribers. We really here now. We really here. We approaching that 1K. Because when we get that 1K, man, that's a milestone. But I'll be back, like I said. Catch y'all on the flip side, MTTG. Let's go.